Yes. Oh my God.
Okay, there we go.
This is to turn off the electricity for the whole pool house, the whole pool. I think it turns off the electricity for the pool house also. You just turn it.
Uh-huh.
Okay. That's a fuse for the summer house over there. This I've never gone into. I think that's only for the electricians to go into. Right?
Okay.
This is the, just so you know, this is the main electricity, this orange hose that brings the electricity into the pool house.
Right, okay.
I think it goes down from a corner of the garage and goes underground.
Okay.
But that's the thing.
And if you were doing, for example, let's say we were doing some work in there and needed the electricity off in there, in the pool house.
Yeah. I think that will turn it off.
That would turn it off. But are you risking all of this kind of thing? Can you only have it off for a short period of time without it mucking up the pool?
I don't
Because
think so.
does this all need the electricity to run? It presumably does, doesn't it?
Yeah, but you're only running it at night.
Okay, fine.
It's not going to hurt it to be off for a while. You're only running it at night.
But as long as you're putting it back on, so let's say you had
unless it was the middle of the summer and really hot, and you didn't filter the pool for a couple of days, it'd be okay.
Okay, fine. Cool.
It'd be all right.
Right, okay. But
the only time you really need to watch it is when it's hot.
Yeah. So this is only filtering stuff. This doesn't affect then the day-to-day and the heating, I guess, as well.
Yeah. It's filtering and heating.
And filtering and heating, yeah.
Yeah.
So if you turn the electricity off, it's not gonna be heated either.
Right.
So,
and if the electricity does go off, you might need to reset the clocks and stuff. In fact, you'd have to remember to check that. So if you turn the electricity, or if the electricity went off, I think there's like a battery, but I don't know how long it lasts for.
Okay.
So you need to check the clock to make sure, because it will go back to the factory setting.
Yeah.
Which is okay for a house, but it's really weird for a pool.
Yeah. Of course.
You'd want to be careful there. Which is why, that's how I ended up heating the pool that time.
Yeah.
Because I hadn't turned everything down on the heater.
Yeah.
And it went to a factory setting.
Okay.
And it was heating the pool in the middle of the day.
Right. And can you remember what time the settings are at the moment for it?
Yeah. It's hard to pull down. Oh no! Oh, not in the bottle! Okay. Oh, what happened? Oh no. Looks like it just went off. Oh my God. Jeez, this isn't what I needed, is it? Well, I went to look at it and it just, the thing just went off. You know,
Okay. So, but it's not.
So I don't know what to do now. It was set for like 4 hours at night.
Okay.
So it's working now, but the little the display went off. That's a bit troubling. Let's see if I can get it up by select. No. Oh, there we go. Phew. Okay.
Okay.
I wanted to break after I leave. No, when I'm standing here. Okay, I don't know why that happened, okay? But it didn't change all the settings. Okay, so the heating is off. Right? The water is on automatic.
Okay.
Which means it's timed.
Okay.
Okay? So it's off until 1 in the morning.
Yeah.
And then I'm pretty sure I have it running every day from 1 to 4.
Okay.
Okay.
1 to 4 in the morning.
Yeah.
Okay.
I know I left you the instructions for this.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, if you wanted to change it.
Yeah. And in the summer, would you change it so it would be heating from kind of roughly just to
I would have it heating much longer. Like I would figure out what the cheap time was.
Yeah.
And have it doing it most of that time probably.
Right. Okay.
And heating in that time also.
Yeah.
But you don't want to heat it the same amount of time. You want to have the filter come on and then maybe a half an hour later the heater come on and then the heater go off maybe an hour before the filter goes off to disperse, make sure all the heat's dispersed.
Right. Okay.
Okay, so you have a broader window.
Okay.
I think I used to do it 6 hours a night, filter it or something. 6
Okay.
hours a night. Some people might say to you should also be filtering it for a couple hours during the day, but I only did that like when the pool was really, really being used a lot.
Okay.
I mostly relied on the cheap stuff at night. But you want to have a wider window for the filtering than you do for the heating.
Okay.
The heating should be a little narrower.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Okay.
And once you get the times of your EDF with Sainsbury's, your cheap time,
Yeah.
then you can figure out how to work it.
Okay.
You
Fine.
won't need to worry about it for now. I mean, it'll 3 hours is fine, plus a little chlorine is fine during the winter.
Okay.
Okay.
Fine.
Now, after it went off, I'm afraid to monkey with it now. But the instructions are in there
Okay.
in terms of how to change it.
Right.
I
Okay.
mean, I could always come back and have a go at it, but I'm sure the two of you can
well,
figure it
don't.
out.
Yeah. But if we find the
You don't want
instructions
to.
for when
Well,
we
you
need
don't want
to
to
do it.
change it now. I mean,
Yeah.
I'll have a go at heating clock.
I think if we have difficulty,
Just give me a call.
then I'll give you a call.
I have the same
then.
one in my flat now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
so
the exact
you're
same
familiar
one in
with
the
it.
flat. Yeah, but after what just happened a few minutes ago, I'm a little bit inclined not to touch it
Yeah.
right now because you don't need to change anything. Okay, let's leave that down because it seemed to get upset when that was up and I had to pull it down.
Yeah, okay.
So it's not going to hurt it to have that
No.
down.
Okay.
Now there's a little key in there. Heater on, switch first. There's like a little override key you'll see. You'll see a funny looking little key in that I left you with the pool stuff.
Okay.
It's like an override key.
Right.
I think what it does, it's like if you put it in here, it's another way of shutting things off and on if they kind of like get stuck.
Right. Okay.
Like you can't turn something off. I think it's a little override
Okay.
here. That's for the pool light, the floodlight,
Okay.
and that I don't know what that is. I think that's the fuses.
Right.
Okay. So if you could always check and see if something wasn't working, if it was a fuse that tripped.
Okay.
I've never ever had a fuse trip in here.
Okay.
The electricity went out completely once, from the supply,
Mhm.
and I don't remember why, but it was not any big deal. A regular electrician just came around and looked at it and
Okay.
did something minor.
Okay.
It might have been something that happened out, in the garage. So that's that. I think this is like an override for the filter pump. I think if you press this, you can turn the filter off if it somehow is working and
Right.
is doing the wrong thing.
Okay.
I never press that either, but the guys have pressed it
Okay.
when they've been here. But if all else fails and like the filter is pumping and you can't get it to stop, you can try pressing it.
Okay.
This button here is for this. This is the heating tube I told you about.
Yes.
So if you just press this little button, it's pretty obvious because it's connected up.
Yeah.
It'll heat up.
Okay.
Okay.
And that's only if it gets really cold
Yeah.
in the winter,
Yeah.
and we don't want any of this pipe work to freeze up. Is that the primary reason for
but,
it?
Yes, but keep in mind that you will have it filtering for a few hours every night, so it would
Yeah.
have to be pretty cold.
Yeah.
Okay. If for some reason it was winter and something was broken here, then you would want to make sure that this was working. I'm just
Okay.
saying in an emergency.
Yeah.
I mean, there's been the odd emergency. This is new, but on the old one, I came out one time and the plastic top had broken and the water was spewing out all over the place.
Okay.
So in an emergency like that, if it was cold in the winter, you just want to use that as an extra thing. We had that put in.
Okay.
It's kind of like an extra thing. We've never had the pipes freeze.
Right.
Never had the pipes freeze.
Okay.
That's not happened. Even in the coldest of winters, when there was ice all over the pool, we never had the pipes, freeze or anything.
Right.
Okay.
But would you have put it on then, just to?
I had it on.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, it was on then.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Just to be sure.
Yeah.
So we would still keep it filtering, and we would have that on all the time, even during the day.
Right.
Yeah.
When it was
Yeah.
very, very cold, though. Yeah.
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 Now the heating. The heat is on off.
Yeah.
It's like a triple. After I heated the pool accidentally, this is off.
Yeah.
But we know that can accidentally go to factory setting.
Yeah.
So the other thing I do is, the heater's off. This is the main heating switch.
Uh-huh.
Okay, you pull it up and it goes on. All right?
Okay.
So you pull this up and the heating comes on.
Yeah.
You also have the heating instructions that I've left you.
Right.
Not today, but I left those before.
Okay.
And the third way to do it is to turn this all the way down. So if for some reason you forgot to turn this off, and that went to factory setting and it started to heat, it wouldn't get very high.
Okay.
Okay.
So again, if you went on holiday for a couple of weeks, would you turn that right down? Should you know, or in? Because how long does it take for the pool to heat up?
I'll tell you inside.
Okay.
I used to do some experiments to see how fast we could get it heated up.
Yeah.
If I was going on holiday, I think what we used to do is we used to probably leave it on like. It depended how long.
For say a couple of weeks. So we've got a summer holiday coming up, for example.
Okay, summer holiday. And you sure you wanted to swim when you get back? I might leave it on 20.
Okay.
Cool. Yeah.
And normally, what would you have it set to for just normal
I think
pleasant?
normally I would have it on 30, and then I
Okay.
might turn it up to 35. But I'm sure somewhere I have notes about
Okay.
what. Not recently, but I used to experiment with it and see how fast we could, get it up.
Yeah.
It does take a little while in May.
Yeah.
If you're trying to get it warm in May, you need to plan ahead.
Yeah.
But we can talk about that inside.
Okay.
When I have my notes, I'm trying to think. I think that's all in here. I think that's it.
That's it. Brilliant. Thank you.
Oh, no. Okay. All right, we have to come back because now we're going to do